What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? If anybody is up tonight, I am working on doing a graduation version of this all over-ish sublimation template. So this is a little overdue. I was supposed to get into this morning, but the way time is set up, it just ain't enough of it. So I'm going to go through all of these elements. I want to make sure that I can make all these elements make sense. So without further ado, here we go. Let me go on to my directions and the beautiful photos that I have for this occasion. I have a gorgeous model here. I'm going to pull on over to remove BG just to go ahead and pull up the image and see if it'll clear the background for us with very little effort. Photo 1, and it looks like it kind of grabbed a little extra data. And I'm okay with that. I can clear that up. It was a little confused between the wooden beam and the hair there, but we can clean that up. Alright, and let's go ahead and bring in photo number 2. Alright, in photo number 2, we may want to remove a little bit of the background, but not necessarily what the person's sitting on, just depending on what you're actually going to put there. So I'll do this version, and then I'm also going to, if I need it, I can come back and bring the one back with the background on it. So let's go ahead and download these. And then I want to go ahead and get my information together so I know what my color scheme is and theme is here. Alright, and I also need to grab a couple of images. So I need to figure out what Eastern Michigan University colors are. I'm just going to look for the hex codes. And I like to use teamcolorcodes.com to get that information. And it's black and white and this green. So I'll go into my Photoshop. And let's go ahead. Let's see what color I want to change. Let's go into this main image. And it's a real simple multi-layer image that has some little paint splashes in the background. So I'm thinking since the main color is the green, I'm going to do a color overlay here. And let's add the green. And then for the back one, we'll do black. I think for the middle one, we'll do white. Or do we? I think I might just have two here. So I'll just do the black and the green, and of course we already have white in the design. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of the images here. And this font is an Innate Lab font called Living 90s. Let me make sure I download that font. If you don't have that font, I have it available on the Innate Lab website. It's only $3. So typically any font that is in the template, and I was just explaining this to someone today, you can, once you click on the layer for the font, you can actually look up the name of this font, and if I type in Living 90s font, it does come up in a lab. So there it goes. Now I'm just going to go ahead and download it. Living 90. Let's go ahead and install. Alright, so it should be ready for us. And let's see here. Let me check on y'all to see if anybody chimed in yet. Alright, y'all are up. I didn't have anyone on at first, so I didn't think y'all were up. But on a Thursday. Hey Rona. Thank you for being concerned about me. I appreciate that. We're actually doing great. The weather, it got a little bit scary, and literally while we were on the road, they were talking about a tornado possibly forming right where we were. So everything turned out fine. Nothing was damaged. We're fine, so I appreciate that. The only thing that looked like it got some damage was our internet signal, which hence why things got pushed back a little bit. But I'm back on track, and I'm up designing tonight, and I'm glad I got a little company. Hey Gemini, Miss Sexy and Miss LaQuisha, what's good, love? As she could be. Hey, love. And Unique Creations. Oh, Quantella, what's up? One of our new innate creatives in the academy, doing big things, big things. So yeah, we're just working on this all overish. This is Innate Academy number 117. I did show you how you could do it all overish as a t-shirt instead of using the elements to do a hoodie or long sleeve. So that's what we're working on tonight. Let me see here what all we're going to put on here. So we're going to put the words EMU bound. And I'm going to copy and paste it. Now this particular one has a lot going on in the text. I did a gradient fade off with an image fill. Of course, there's also a little bit of stroke and drop shadow going on there. Alright, and then Tracy, if you get a chance to join us and say anything, I completely understand. If you're tired, love, I feel you. I just got internet back midday today, so I am in it and it's struggling. So hopefully it doesn't drop y'all off. That's what was happening the other day. I guess the storm was causing the internet to not be as powerful. So when I went to go check it, it was like a tenth of what it normally is. So I'm just happy to have a little, little internet today. I'm not even gonna complain. It's a good day when I can get on the internet. All right, so let's see here. MU bound. So we're gonna go with those colors. Let me double click on the effects here for the text. And we have a little gradient going on here. I'm going to make a new gradient. Let's go with the green hex code. I can just paste that hex code. Oh, I don't have the hex code anymore because I turned it, well, the last thing I copied and pasted was the EMU bound. So I'm just going to select the green here. It's probably not going to be the perfect green, but that's probably it right about there. I'll do a white here, and then a black here. And let me get rid of this color stop by hitting delete. And I think I want a little slim area of white, just so it looks like a little highlight. Alright, and I'm going to change this angle. There we go. Then I will save this as a new swatch, and then I'm going to take the white out the middle and just do the green to black and add that as a new one because I think I like that better as far as an outline. It makes it bold. I am going to turn off this fill here and focus on the gradient overlay here. Right now it's going from transparent, that clear area, to these two colors. I'm going to go ahead and choose maybe this one that I created and take off the black. Make it mostly green. And then I may even just flip this. So let's do reverse here. Yeah, because I like where the white is on the green and the green is juxtaposed against the black. Alright, so I'm okay with that. Maybe the second stroke can be a little bit smaller. My drop shadow a little bit bolder. And I think I'm good with this. Now I just need to bring in my photos. Now we already cut out the images. I'm going to go ahead and drag them in from my folder. Excuse me, 1 and 2. Held down shift to grab those couple. Drop them on my artboard. There's one, and I will reduce it just a little bit here. And then I do have the part of the image where it has like the blocks that she's sitting on, but I figured we'll see if it makes sense to do something a little different. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and rasterize these layers so that I don't have all that extra data on the outside. Now I'm thinking I can do EMU and then bound on a different layer. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to take the bound off of the first line of text, and then maybe I want to see if it looks cool if she's sitting on the EMU or no. This photo, I'm going to Control T and I'm going to flip it the other way. Take this image now and bring it down just a little bit. Actually, I need it a little bit bigger if I'm going to do that, because I need it to look like her feet has a natural resting spot there. So let's bring this photo behind the EMU letter. Gotta make it where this foot rests on the ground. There we go. And then this hand needs something to rest on. And now I can make the word bound a little bit bigger because we have more space here. And I wanted it to be cool to sit on top of the text, but it seemed like you couldn't really read it. It wasn't legible. So I'm gonna kind of just put it behind it instead. That way I can make the image a little bit bigger. And we'll just play off of it this way instead. And I'm just staying inside of my 13 by 19 print area. And I'll take the word bound and bring it in front as well. There we go. And I think that makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and close out the smart object and hit yes to save it. And let's see how it updates here. Alright, and let me turn off, I guess once I get these elements done, we can figure out how it's going to show all together. Alright, so we have EMU bound. I think that was the only text that we needed to put on here. Let's see. Oh, no, we got a name. Miss Beautiful Kamari. And I'm sure she's bright, brilliant, and ready to change the world as well. So I love to encourage our youth that, not just that they're beautiful, because they are beautiful, absolutely. But as equally as they are beautiful, they are warm spirits and intelligent and able to change the world. So every time I tell my niece she's pretty, I have to tell her something else with the pretty. If I tell my nephew he's handsome, I have to tell him something else with the handsome. Just to let them know that they are smart, talented, brilliant beings. We got to speak that into our babies. Let's see here. Chrissy, I don't have the paper jam issue with the 15,000. I think it might be some people are using thicker paper. Then that might be the issue. Awesome. That's amazing. That's so awesome to hear, and tell her to keep it up because she's gonna get grad school paid for and all as long as she stays focused and she keeps her. Um, it's not just a GPA, but just stay involved in what it is that she's majoring in as an undergrad. Maybe even do a graduate like teaching assistantship where she gets to teach the labs and that sort of thing. That's how I got on to my paid master's degree and paid fellowship to do my PhD. And I wish somebody would have been there to give me these little tips and nuggets and not let me do student loans and all that stuff because basically school's paid for. Um, well, I will say this. Truth be told, I used my student loans to to start a business and do that while I was in school. So I learned a lot, not just from school. I learned a lot while in school. Let me put it that way. I don't think I learned as much from school as I learned while I was in school. So I'm positive she's gonna do amazing. So yeah, you liked her sitting on top of the EMU. I can definitely pull it in front. I wasn't sure how you'd like that, and I didn't want to do too much. And I know that you needed to get you some rest, love. And congratulations, congratulations. This is a huge deal. Them babies start growing up and you feel like you can't even call them babies anymore. Yeah, she's looked like she's ready to go too. All right, so I was sitting there. Let's pull it. Let's bring it into the main design here. See what that looks like. All right. And since you're doing this for personal use, if you want to do like the school logo and that sort of thing, uh, since this is your baby and you're doing this for your personal stuff, let me know. I'll look it up. I don't know what it looks like, but let's maybe do her name. And I know I have this font chosen. I'm thinking I might do like a script or something like that. Let's go back to this. I'm going to duplicate the word bound. Duplicate here. And let's choose a different font. And then I need to turn it off with the all caps. So sometimes y'all are wondering why you can't get the capitals off. That's because it has this little all caps activated here. I kind of like the word bound like that. Well, let's make a copy of it and then I'm going to paste her name. Alright, so Kamara is on there. Let's bring it all the way to the front. So let's see, I can do EMU bound and then take off. I think that works out right there. And Tracy, just to let you know, I saw the banner that you did, the backdrop, and it is gorgeous. You did your thing on that one. And thank you for the shout out. And that is in a class that I am working on building right now with the backdrops, and I'm working on making a template for the step and repeat backdrops because I've been looking around and I don't see, you know, I don't see any real templates that give you that possibility to work it as a Photoshop template. So I am definitely going to do that and give some tips about doing the backdrop design. And I'm looking for the image that you used in the background. I see it. Alright, I'm going to save this image as, it's a JPEG, so I'm going to clean up the background once I bring it in. And we have this issue a lot of times when we have a logo and it has white. If you go to remove BG, it'll remove the white from the inside of the image too. So I'm going to select the white just on the outside by using my magic wand. I'm going to select the inverse. So I had the outside meat selected. Now I have the inside meat selected. I'll go to selecting masks just so it can show me what it is that it's selected. I'm missing a little bit inside of there, which I wouldn't be terribly disappointed if I didn't get, as long as I make sure my edges are smooth. So I did bring my smoothing up just a little bit. Then I will create a clipping mask here, so now it has a transparent background, and what I'm going to do is use that for my mascot logo. So I'll go to my mascot, double click on it, and it is right here. And I'm going to do Control T just to transform it, make it a little bit smaller so that it fits on the artboard here. Apply that layer mask, and we'll turn off anything else here. And this is a pretty big file, so you don't want to have a whole bunch of layers if you don't need it. Alright, what else do we need? So Tracy, let me know if you're doing this for a hood. If not, we don't need to do anything for the left and right hood, but what I can do is open up this one and then at least copy and paste this here. And we'll do her name and then EMU bound, just so that you have it in case you want to use it for something. So I am going to, I'm going to close this down for right now because we don't need the mock-up just yet. Let's do the text here, and then I'm going to copy this layer style for the text here, paste it here, and we'll put EMU bound. Let's see here. I like to copy and paste as much as possible what a client sends me, because I want to make sure that I don't misspell something. Alright, and then we'll copy that layer style. Once we close out of this, it should update on our main template. And I'll do the same thing for this one. This is the left of the hood. I'm going to paste the layer style, and then I'm going to copy and paste the name here. Alright, so I have the left and right parts of the hood, and you don't have to use it for the hood. You can use it for going up or down the side of the shirt, or anything you can think of. So right now we're just changing out all our basic elements, and then we'll see how this is going to all come together. Let's go ahead and do our abstract design. We're going to double click on it. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the corals and the shells so this doesn't become a huge document. And again, let's grab the color, the hex code here. And I think the main color that's standing out to me is not that one, this one. So that's like my main color. I'm going to do a color overlay. Make that green, and if I want to make it opaque or more opaque, then I can just duplicate that green layer and it makes it more opaque. Alright, and the colors are green, white, and black. So I already have everything pretty much. This one is covered with a white overlay, and let's see, this one is actually with a gradient overlay. I'm going to take that gradient off and my black comes through. Then I have a little bit of a gradient overlay here, and what I can do is I can still do a gradient overlay, but let's choose the gradient that we made earlier. Either the green to the black or the green, white, black. I think the green, white, black kind of pops. Alright, and there's a little bit of gold back there. Don't know if you want any. I think we do have gold in the text. So let me know. I'm going to leave the gold there. You let me know what you think. So I'll hit yes to update this. And I like to get a little bit literal when I do like patterns and stuff. So I am trying to think of what would be a good pattern background here. Or, you know, maybe I don't get literal and I do something, you know, very intentional for design purposes. Let's see. I'm looking up, see if I can find. I'm just looking up an elegant pattern. And I'll probably end up finding something. I like something like this one. And I don't know how it would look. I use a damask kind of print a lot because it's ornate, but you can use it in the background, especially if it's monochromatic and it's not, it doesn't compete with the image, even though it's very busy. You'll, you know, be surprised at that. Because I like this one because I think of eagles and I'm thinking of the feathers, so that's a cool one. And before if I do purchase the file for any of these, and some of them I have the free, well, it's not free, it's paid, a paid license. I'll take and I'll get this thumbnail, and obviously that's not a good one because it's low resolution, but just get the thumbnail, even if it has a watermark on it, and play with it. See if you like it. Let me see my free pick. I'm just going to look up pattern background and see what I find. Don't be too specific, just see what I come across. And it doesn't have to be anything literal. I get a little literal, like with like pre-med or something. Well, maybe I would look up some, you know, some backgrounds that might deal with that. Or the themes are eagles, I'll look for something like this kind of reminds me of feathers. And it's a very subtle, simple design. Let's see how it works. And I'm just going to copy the image real quick. I think I like this pattern. and I'm going to make it into a pattern. So this will be the Photoshop version of it. I'll go to the gray. Oops. Let me choose a tolerance of 5. That gray and white are really close, so I reduce my tolerance. Control D to deselect. And I'm going to grab my magic wand tool, make sure contiguous is turned off because I want it to select everywhere I see that gray. And I'm going to go select and mask, make sure it's smooth. Now technically, they gave me a whole vector there. So let me show you what I really would have done. Definitely would have opened up the vector in Illustrator and brought the vector image in because it's so much cleaner. And you don't have to worry about, see how my edges are here, I have to worry about trying to smooth those out and appear to look like this is a cohesive image, but you're going to, it's going to look bitmap, it's going to look grainy a little bit unless you use the vector. And of course, I'm using a lot of power right now. I have Illustrator and Photoshop open right now, and I'm doing this live stream, so hopefully we don't drop off because it gave me a warning there. Alright, so see how this is a vector? A vector is mathematic. It is based on points in this given space. No matter if it is a little 2-inch graphic or a 200-foot graphic, it will always be crisp and clean and exact. It's a mathematical representation of lines and points, right? And shapes and fills. So you're always going to have a really clean look when you do the vectors versus bitmap. You are basically trying to select active pixels. And let me show you the difference here. I'm just going to turn the background off for just a moment. Oh, let me deselect here. Deselect, sir. And then I'm going to paste as a smart object so that I can always come back to it. It's right on time and place. And if I turn off the background here, or actually I have to double click on the background to make it editable. Delete that. I'm going to turn this into a pattern. Now I'm going to go ahead and color this black just so that I can see it no matter where it is. And then I'm going to turn this into a pattern. So I'm going to go File, nope, I lied, Edit, Define a Pattern, and I think before I define that pattern I need to cut some of this off a little bit. So let me grab my cropping tool because this I want to connect and repeat. Let me make, oh no, that's where a space is supposed to be. So there is supposed to be a space between where this one ends, this one begins. So what it does is it tiles it for you, and if you have an exact seamless tile, then when these images come together to make a full fill, you will not see any gaps or difference there. So I can go ahead and prepare this as a pattern. So I'm going to go to Edit, Define Pattern, and I'll call this Abstract Feather. Alright, and now when I go to my fill here, my background bottom fade, instead of the mermaid scales here, I'm going to create a fill. So let's do a pattern, and it has the leaves there. I'm going to scroll down and now I will find what we just created, the feathers. I'll get rid of the mermaid version, and for the feathers I think I'm going to do an overlay. Let's do a color overlay. And let me make sure my blending options only apply to what's underneath. And in order to get that green hex code again, I'm going to have to go back to my hex code, copy it, and I should have just created a swatch for it, but let's see what that looks like. And then the bottom here is white. Let's just get an idea of what that looks like. I could also do color overlay and make the background black with the green. That looks kind of cool. Let's see what it looks like. All of these things are subjective, so you can play around with them and whatever makes you feel good, gets you excited, and whatever floats your boat, finds you the lost remote, that's what I want you to do. Alright, so if there is a particular number or anything that you want on the back of this, love, let me know. Awesome, awesome. Yep, let's see here. Let's do, and I'm going to show you what this looks like all together. Right now, I'm showing you that all I do is change out a few elements here. And this is if you want to do socks. This is a little bonus that's on here. I'll go ahead and do this for you too. Let's do the gradient. And of course, remember we saved our gradient earlier. So I'll just come down here and maybe do that for the socks. Go ahead and update that. And I thought, did I see on the poster, is she an athlete as well? So he wanted to use her her number. Oh, that's her school. She's doing the Eastern there. So you don't have to do a number. If you want to on the back, use the little mascot. Let's open that up. So I don't have to use the number. Let me close that out. Nope, don't need to save it. Let's go to the number. Double click on that. And I can take the mascot and drag it where the number is. If I'd rather have that like on the back of the jersey or the t-shirt. As a matter of fact, you know it would be really cool. Let's do that, and I'll add a bonus photo in there. And you can take it out if you want to. I know you know how to use Photoshop because I saw you do that beautiful backdrop. Let's go to let's do remove BG. And maybe I'll do one of the cap designs because this is I like this picture. It's really gorgeous. And maybe we'll put this one on the back. And now we'll just drag and drop it onto our artboard. And we'll see here that we don't always have to do things exactly as they're saying. I can turn off the number. I'll leave the number there so you can do it later if you do decide you want to put a number there. And then let me fade off the bottom of the image here. I'm adding a layer mask, grabbing my paintbrush, and draw that brush size down a little bit there. And let's see how I want to do this placement. I might even, here we go. I'm trying to catch that E right there. And let me see, if I go ahead and control select the E, if I want this part to look like it's in front and this part behind, I can play with that. So let me do a group, and then I'm going to do a layer mask to this group so I don't mess up my fade off. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to have to do a layer mask here and do a reveal all, and then I'm going to take my paintbrush and paint away this little middle here with the beak, and let that kind of be in front, let her face be in front, and it kind of looks like you're kind of intertwined in there somehow. Alright, so let's go ahead and Control D to deselect, and I have a little bit coming through here, so I'm going to go back with my brush, make it a little bit smaller, and this time I'm going to use the white to add the photo back in that area right there, and right there in her face. Let me know if you like that. If not, I'm sure we can find something else there. So let's update it, see what it looks like. And that was our original mascot image. Alright, so for the number, we would have that, which is really just the back in general. And again, I can take the text for the front of the hood, the back name, Control T is going to allow me to transform that. And let's update that, see what everything looks like. So that should be everything we have to save and change for this all over template. Alright, so here's the magic. I am going to, it says turn off and export these files. So I'm going to turn them off. And as you can see, now it automatically generated the wrist sleeve. I'm actually, since you're doing this on regular t-shirts, if you want to do this for, I'm thinking for the short sleeve shirt, this will still work, because you'll probably need to print 2 of these per sleeve, or if it's a large or smaller, maybe even extra large or smaller, we can use this fade off. So I'm going to do an additional fade off here for a short sleeve. For a short sleeve, I will do a new gradient. It will be the basic gradient from transparent to foreground. I'm going to bring black to the foreground, and my goal is to fade it off a little bit more for the short sleeve. So basically, if you put your sleeve in here, you'll end up getting some of the print, it'll fade off, and you don't have to be so exact. If you're doing the wrist for the hoodie, then you could actually print closer up to here, and it would take up more of that wrist area. Alright, so here I have this back image. I'm going to take the back image off. So wherever it says number, I'm going to take that number off here. And all I did was just disable it. So turn off the eyeball. It takes down that visibility. And now you'll see how these things combine. Remember when we talked about what we wanted on the side of the hoodie? So now you have the text on top of the abstract artwork in the background. Abstract background is on the pattern that we created. And if that pattern isn't exactly what I wanted, I can actually make this pattern a little bit smaller. Double click, pull that scale down, and I get a totally different look. Let's update it and see what happens. I like that. I don't know if you like that, but let me know if you like that. I think it's just different. Alright, then you have something here for the socks. We can actually take the number off here, because if we're not doing a number, or you can put a number there. So this makes your socks, and see how the socks incorporates the pattern, the background abstract, and the logo. And then this would be the back of your shirt. So if this is ready to go, right, what I'm going to do is do like the instructions say, turn off, and then I'm going to export the artboard to file. So I'm going to file, wait, let me save, let me do the save dance. I haven't been saving this whole time, y'all. I'm tripping. Your girl is not doing the save dance like she's supposed to. Yeah, let me know if you want to keep the mascot there. We can keep it there with the photo, or we can put a 21, whichever one works best for you. All right, so that's everything that we had to design. Now when I go to File, Export, Artboard to Files, and I'm trying to think if I did this one as PNGs or JPEGs. Let me see for just a moment before I tell y'all anything wrong. That was, what, course number 117? It's been a little minute. 117. I think, yep, I exported as JPEG. So here's the deal. When I export as PNG, it lets it have a transparent background, which is amazing for doing my mock-ups, but it changes the scale, like the scale of things, it changes. It makes it 72 dots per inch, and then it makes it this huge height and width, and that drives me crazy because it never reduces down exactly the same way. When you save it as or export it as a JPEG, it preserves the exact size. PNG saves the colors better. JPEG is going to preserve the actual pixel size better. So we're going to export it as a JPEG. Let's go ahead and place it in that folder. I'm going to do a new folder, and I'm going to call this my print folder. That means whatever ends up in this folder, I can straight up print and be ready to go. Alright, so let's do that. And I'm just going to save it with the prefix of print and then a dash. And what will happen is each of these artboards, it'll save as print-back, print-socks, print-front, etc. Alright, my quality, I'm going to keep it at 12. Normally it'll be on 8, and then we'll have to crank it up to 12. And I'm going to do the artboard content only. So let's go ahead and run this, and I'm on this computer that I very rarely use, so hopefully everything goes well. Thank you, Rona. Yes, y'all please like the video, especially if y'all staying up. I know y'all like the video because if you're here with me tonight at midnight and you like what I'm doing, just don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. It supports your girl, and I further support you all because I can get on here and take my sweet time and make these videos and avoid getting a job, which is just over broke. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. She could be. Thank you, thank you. I try to be a little bit of amazing, but I can only be amazing with you all because y'all give me the inspiration to do this stuff. I promise. It's teamwork. Alright, so we went from like a mermaid theme to a whole graduation theme. Let's see what it's going to look like as a mock-up. Alright, so I told y'all before I close out the mock-up file, I'm going to go ahead and bring it back. And now all I have to do is go to one of my images. I'll double click to change the art here. And then when I go to my print folder, I want y'all to see what happened. Well, I want to see what happened too. Where's my folder? Hold on, hold on. Here's my folder. I'm going to go to my print folder. Boom. Alright, so there's all of my stuff there. Oh, my print all didn't print. Well, let me make sure that everything was on that layer. I might have turned my stuff off. Let's see. So close that up, close that up, close that up. Those are my socks. All art. I think I changed the order of this. No, I didn't. Because it's on. So let me file. Let's do export artboard to files because nothing was on my artboard. Okay, so For that one I had to do include overlapping areas, I believe. And this time I'm just going to export the selected artboard, which is the all art. And let me run this, put it in my print folder, make sure I did that right. print dash and give it a little chance, let it run, let it do its thing. I'll take a little sip of my water. All right. And this is a pretty big file. It was a really big file before, and I broke it down and made it like this cool little smart object deal that did most of the work for you. Let's see if that worked. Aha, it did. So this is what I was looking for. I needed this to have everything on it just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to bring that over into my mock-up. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Mock-ups here. I take that image here where it says double click to change art. I don't even have to open up that folder with all that mess in it. Then I'm going to drag and drop my art in here. It should lay out on top of that perfectly. Let's hit enter to lock in that transformation. And if I want to see, I can actually turn down the opacity and I can see that everything is in good placement where it was before. Alright, and in order to save this, I'm going to have to flatten the image so that it only has one layer, and I'll say yes to save it. Let's watch it update on the mock-up. There we have it. That's all, folks. So hopefully you like this. If you need any changes, I know that your brain is probably not trying to think of any changes right now. Let me know, and if you need me to update it in the morning, I absolutely will. This is class number 117. We had a lot of fun doing this class, and I wanted to show you the versatility of it. It is not just for, one particular theme. You can take any of these templates and make it your own. Alright, so let me go ahead. I'm going to save this. I'm also going to go ahead and save a JPEG of it, just in case. You're welcome. Please use this. If you want to show this off as a design that you can do for others, then absolutely. I'm even encouraging you to use this mock-up and show people what you could do with the hoodie, even if you're not making the hoodie. Alright, so let's go ahead and, if I were going to save this as a JPEG, I'm going to do save as a copy, choose JPEG just so that I can share it on Facebook and all that other good stuff. So let's save that. I will even give you my folder that I already exported it, so you'll have everything ready to go if this is ready to go for you. Just remember, for the socks, you're going to print 2 of these for the socks. You'll print 1 back. You'll print 1 page here, and that'll be the left and right of the hood if you were doing a hoodie. You could also use this down the side of the shirt. If you wanted a little bit color on the sides of the shirt, you can use it for that. Here, if you want to do this is for down the long sleeves, but you can also take off this part and do this in the fade at the bottom and do your logo on the center sleeve. It's a lot of extra presses. I'm just letting you know what you can do. Of course, that's your front design. And then the bottom hem, you're going to use this. It'll be 2 13 by 19 sheets that you put together, but it will give, basically you won't have much white left on the shirt when you do this all over ish. I will tell you this, it is more presses. If you do all of these presses, like the sleeves and all, it's more presses to do an all over ish shirt than it is to towel an all over shirt. And that's a lot of work. So I'm just letting you know, of course it's going to look great because you're going to have detail in so many different places, but I do want y'all to know it is work to do these all over ish shirts. If you look up the words all over ish, or just look up the word ish, ISH, on the YouTube channel, you'll see that I did a full demonstration on a short sleeve shirt not too long ago. I did a watch me work session where I let y'all watch me do a graduation version of, no, a football version of this same file. Alright, so let me stop talking. Did I save a JPEG of this one? I don't need to save a JPEG of this one because it's already in the folder. So my love, I am going to pretty much give you this whole folder and send the link over to you. So you'll have the print file, you'll have the mock-up, and I'll even send you the font with that one because you're very, very patient with me, and I appreciate that. I know I couldn't control the internet or the weather, but you have shown me grace, so I will definitely give you favor. Alright, so I'm sending all this over to you, my love. Just cleaning up the file a little bit. And let me go ahead, I should have been closed down my Illustrator while I'm over here willy-nilly thinking my computer won't crash. Let me save. Let's save this file. That I think we did some edits to this one. Alright, my love, I'm going to go ahead and send this right on over to you. And I think I have one more urgent artwork to do. So, if y'all want to hang out with me, as long as I have a voice and a peep of energy keeping my eyes open, y'all are welcome to hang out with me. Alright, I am just updating the names on all my files so I know I won't lose it. Alright. If y'all hang out with me just a little bit longer, I'll get the other one going. Right now it'll be a surprise to me because I don't know what it is. So y'all will find out what the design is at the same time that I do. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and send this though, just in case Tracy wanted to go ahead and mess with this tonight. I want to give her that option. And the folder. And Tracy, thank you. I think you did sign up for Photoshop file. all of the files. Please let me know if you need any changes. Alright, so there's that link. Alright, so I'm going to close out of this one and see if y'all want to hang out. I'm going to go ahead and get this one done. Let's see what it is. Well, before I say I'm going to go ahead and get it done, let me see what it is. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that what we're doing right now? Let me see this one. Yep. July 8th at 9:52. Let's go ahead and get this one done too. Alright, so this one, I think, two, three, four, five. Alright, so I think we're going to do 5 photos on this one. And let's go ahead and bring up our remove BG, see if that can help us cut these photos off or out quickly, at least the background. One, two, three. Now that one took some of the image off of here, so if I want to build it back, I can build it back. It just depends on how much of the image I'm going to use. And it cut off some of his wicks, so let me see. Why am I doing Control Plus? There we go. So let me show you what I would do here. I don't want to download, I want to edit the high resolution version. And instead of me cutting out everything, I'm just going to restore the parts that I feel like I can make sure I don't miss that detail. And as far as the elephant there, I'm going to leave that there. If I really do plan on using some of this background, maybe because he's sitting on something, it always looks so weird if you just leave somebody just hanging there in midair, unless you're going to, like we did on the last one, make it look like it was faded off. So I'm going to at least give some of the ground back, and then we can just fade off part of the ground and still have the upper image there. So let me download that one. And this one will go. Alright, let's close out of this one now. So I have 2, 3, and then I have one more. It's 4. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab the other 3 images and see how we're going to place them in the template. And then after this, y'all, your girl's gonna call it a night. It's been a long one. It was a long one last night, but it was a good one last night. And all that energy is just spilling over until I poop out, because I'm getting ready for the workshop this weekend. And I'm really excited to have some of you come to the Jacksonville area to spend some time with me, learn with me, and we're going to turn these into destination workshops. So it will be a paid vacation, or I won't say a paid vacation, it will be a vacation that you can write off, so that you are spending the majority of your time conducting business. So when you do it like that, as long as, and consult with your accountant, your CPA, I believe it's 40% of your time is devoted to business, then it is a business trip. So I'm trying to work this into, everybody wants to take a vacation and works for that, but if you can write it off for your business, then it becomes something that that you do more often. You actually gain something from it. You don't feel like you just wasted a bunch of money on vacation. You actually come back with some tools, some skills, and like a refresh, like a reset and refresh button. So I want to start and instilling some of that within our group, and really encouraging the business side of things, not just calling it a hobby, but a true business. All right, so I think we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our images here. I'm going to just close out of this window to keep from having too much going on. Oh yeah, absolutely. I see you said good night, so I don't know if you're still here, love. I see that you asked if there's a way to show the t-shirt as a mock-up. Yes, there is. You have to modify the mock-up quite a little bit, but there definitely is a way to do that. And I'm glad you got the 16650, because that means you can print these puppies fast. Let me tell y'all, my 16650 will print that 13 by 19 graduation file, those 13 by 19 sheets, in 30 seconds or less. So depending on how much white space there is, it'll print it out in like 15 to 19 seconds. And then if it's like a full, almost a full color image for that 13 by 19, it only takes 30, maybe 35 seconds. So y'all, those 16650s are the truth. And if you need to see it, demonstrate it, I'm going to do a versus. I'm actually taking all of the printers that I have collected for you all just to troubleshoot. And I'm doing a versus video. So we're going to do the Sawgrass 1000, the Epson 7710, 7720 is the same thing. I'm doing the EcoTank 16650, which is my boo. Like, it is my true boo. Like, I brag on it all the time. I have the EcoTank 15000. I have the new Epson 7820, which is the same as the 7840, that has the cartridges that don't have the reset chips, but I do have the regular chips that are installed on them. And I'm missing a printer. Of course, I have the big boy, the 7270. That is converted to sublimation, and I'm missing one, but I will definitely do a versus with all of those printers printing the same file. I'm going to give y'all the lowdown on the time that it took, the colors, whether I felt like the colors were more vibrant or more accurate to what's on the screen, all of that good stuff. Yeah, see, I tried to warn y'all, the 16650 was only $129 more than the 16600. And when I tell you it prints almost 3 times faster, I'm not lying to y'all. The 16650, if you look at the specs, it can print up to 25 pages of color per minute, and that's if you're doing like colored text on an 8.5 by 11 sheet paper. But when I tell you my 13 by 19 prints come out in 19 to 30 seconds, I can't beat that anywhere. I can't even beat that with my wide format printer. Yeah, and I was going to do the F570. I really want to get my hands on one of those and set that up. But every time I got ready to order one, they were like out of stock. So I need to order one. That'll be yet another one on the list. I'm gonna be like DJ Khaled, and y'all are gonna be calling me out every time I get another printer. And I get it for you all because I want to know how the True Colors inks work with those systems, so that I can honestly tell you, like, hey, I've tested in X, Y, and Z, and this is the truth. Y'all let me know, for those of you who don't have 13 by 19 printers, who have the like the 8.5-inch wide printers, what's the most popular printer, or the printer that you all have? Because I've never tried any of the 8.5-inch printers. I only go 13 by 19. But because I'm going to start teaching kids sublimation and teaching kids how to do the digital artwork, I want to go with the smaller printer, ones that maybe their parents can afford for them to start their own businesses. So I don't want to assume everybody can afford a 13 by 19 printer. So I need y'all's help figuring out what's the best 8.5-inch wide printer. I'm going to look at the specs myself, but I would love y'all's recommendations as far as what you use and how you like it. I'm going for an eco tank because with kids, I don't want to have them filling up cartridges and potentially spilling ink all over, mom, dad's, or, whoever's carpet. So I want to go with the eco tank, so they fill it up one time. It's pretty much, splash proof, and get these kids going, so we can start our budding entrepreneurs. And maybe the kids get excited and want to start helping you with the business, and you'll have some little apprentices. All right, so I'm doing all this talking. Yeah, the set. Okay, so 2720 is the most popular. Yep, I will definitely check that out. Really? So the SG800 has the paper jams? I've noticed that if there's any little thing wrong with that paper, if it has a little eyelash curl on it, it won't take that paper. But I will say the SG1000 has great color, great color representation, because it's a little bit different type of sublimation. It's more of a gel ink. So I think it's able to get a wider color gamut than the pigment sublimation ink that we use. So, okay, 2720, 2760. Let me go ahead and put that on my list. 2720 and 2760 Epson. All right, and they're 4 colors, which means I'm going to try those out with my True Colors. It looks like they would be very similar to the 15,000. It looks like I'll look up the specs. I probably already have the specs for it, but I'll look up, what the droplet size is, the print speed is, and all that good stuff. And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But yeah, I'm looking for something, 300 or less, so that kids can get started. And maybe I'll even find some that are, so this 2720 can print 8.5 by 11 and under $200. Yeah, I'm gonna do some research, because if I can get any of these printers for around $200 to recommend for the kids, and they can get started, man, you know how quick these kids will take off with a trend. Y'all thought TikTok was how they like to spend their time. When they find out they can actually make money and still be on TikTok, y'all, these kids gonna be kicking us out the sublimation game. I'm just telling you now, because once I train them, it's gonna be on on and popping. You better get them on your side now. Felicia got your T5270, that big boy 36-inch baby. Yes, so you're gonna be doing all overs all over. Come on, Felicia. All right, my love. I'm proud of you. Yes, let me know how that goes. All right, I'm over here just talking, reading comments, and looking up little 8.5-inch printers. I'm not doing my work. You see, I can't multitask. So let's pull it together. Let me make sure I'm not supposed to keep any of the original images. Oh, there's a photo number 5 and 6 for this one. Let me get 5 and 6. So this is P5, and next one is P6. P6. Let me go ahead and bring those in to remove BG. And like I said, for this one, because they had the table there, I'm probably going to bring that back. And then I can always cut away something that I don't want once I see where that edge is. And of course I can fade off any excess that I'm adding right now. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And let's see, one more. Oh, now this one I'm going to edit the high resolution and keep the pool there. And I'm still going to have a little bit of the pop out here, but I'm going to restore like maybe about here. Then I can fade off this excess area. One, two, three, four, 5, and then this will be 6. So that should be it now. Alright, and so we're not going to do it like the first one. So let's see what other option we have to make it a little different here. And this one says we only want to do black. So I'm going to duplicate this layer here. And instead of doing a gradient, I'm just going to do a solid color of black. And let's go ahead and save things. Alright, and I just want to make sure that I have need to paste the name here. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and bring in the different images. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. I'm just going to drag and drop them into the artboard. 1, 2, 3. And I'm just hitting enter as I bring them in. Let's go ahead and turn on our art guides. Save here. Oh, we are turning this into black, so anything that has blue, I'm just bringing it over to grays. And where we have blue before, I'm going to do my FX here, and instead of blue, we'll do a really dark gray, because if I do black, I won't see any of the gradations in there. It'll just look like a flat, really dark black color. Alright, so I am going to copy that layer style, paste it here. Same thing with the name here. I'm going to paste that layer style. And then for the text, for the dates, it's not quite the same style, so I'm just going to change the color overlay. Alright, so now I have to work on layout. Oh, and also the color of the clouds here. They have a little color overlay. I'm going to make that into a darker gray as well. Alright, so let's just see what photos we have. I'm going to spread them out a little bit. And each of these, once I get it a little bit bigger, I'm going to rasterize them because I have all this extra meat where the background was, and it's going to preserve that unless I rasterize. So I'm going to right click, rasterize those layers. And now when I do Control T, it's very tight and it snaps to the extents of the actual active pixels, not, you know, kind of preserving where the background was. Alright, so I like that one maybe there. And then this one, like I said, it has a background, so we can kind of just hide it there. It's not like it's important to see the ground there. I think it's definitely important to have the little one in there. And although I have some of the image hanging out of this dotted line area, it's not anything important like the face or any really important text. Seeing what I'm missing here, because I see a little face right there. But yeah, this is the pool image. I like this one. Maybe like right there. And let's see if we have all of the images. That's 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, and 5. I'm going to scale that down a little bit. And maybe drag it in front. There we go. I want to see a little more of the pool water there. There we go. And I'm trying to think of some clever ways to kind of hide some of the images missing. So before I do any fading off, I'm seeing how I can save myself a little bit of work just by layering a certain way. Alright, and I think I can take this photo, maybe this photo. Oops, no, that's not the one I want to move. I want that one there. There we go. That one there, and then let's put this one behind. Alright, so now I don't have to worry about cutting out so much because I pretty much have things overlapping. I will clean up a little bit though. Alright, and let's take that and fade this water off a little bit here. Grabbing my paintbrush, I added a white layer mask, and I'm just going to come fade off that water there. And I don't see any other hard lines. It's kind of hidden behind the clouds and everything. And this gives us a decent collage here. So I'll go ahead and turn off the guides. I'm definitely going to save this. I should have been saving as I was going along. And I think that's all we need for this one. Okay, so Chrissy says equipment zone for Epson F570. So I'm taking y'all's notes to heart so I can research this when I get a little bit of energy in the morning. So let me take it down y'all's suggestions before this chat goes away. So the 4700, 2760, 4700, 2760, and I think I saw 2720. And I got a good suggestion on where to get an F570. It's called Equipment Zone. Equipment Zone. F570. Alright, so let me make sure that I save this and save a copy as a JPEG. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and get this proof to the customer. I'm going to get me some rest tonight or this morning or whatever you want to call it. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I apologize that I have that very little energy in my voice, but I guarantee you I'm very, very happy to have you all here with me, and I'm very grateful for all of your support. You know, I appreciate you all, love you all dearly, and until next time, bye.